Let's explore the 7 natural wonders of the world. But what are they? The natural wonders showcase the beauty and power of nature, and all are naturally occurring. Humans have played no part in their creation. We do sometimes play a part in their preservation so that future generations can continue to enjoy them. So let's pack up our suitcase and head off around the world in search of its natural wonders. First stop, Mount Everest. Mount Everest is in southern Asia and is the tallest mountain in the world above sea level. It's located in a range called the Himalayas and lies on the border between Nepal and China. The word Himalaya is Sanskrit for home of snow, and the area contains the 3rd largest deposit of ice and snow in the world after Antarctica and the Arctic. The mountain's peak stands at 8,849 metres, which is the highest point on Earth. It's thought that Mount Everest is approximately 60 million years old. It was formed when the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates collided. Due to the air pressure, climate and height, climbing Mount Everest is a dangerous task. The first people to reach the summit did so in 1953. They were Edmund Hillary from New Zealand and Tenzing Norgay from Nepal. Since then, there have been over 5,000 successful climbs to reach the summit. If you're thinking of climbing Everest, prepare to be very cold. The average temperature in summer is minus 19 degrees. That's about the temperature of your freezer at home. In winter, it drops to minus 36 degrees, which is almost as cold as the North Pole. Despite the terrain and cold temperatures, there are a variety of creatures found on Everest, including snow leopards, red pandas, and Himalayan black bears. On to our next natural wonder, Victoria Falls. This amazing waterfall is located along the course of the Zambezi River at the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe. In the Lozi language, it is called Morsi or Atunya, which means the smoke that thunders. In English, it is called the Victoria Falls. The mist created by the falls can be seen from miles away. Victoria Falls is one of the world's mightiest waterfalls and is about twice as wide and twice as high as Niagara Falls in North America. When it reaches the falls, the river plunges to a maximum drop of 108 metres. The turbulent waters emerge through a narrow gorge leading to a steep-walled zigzag canyon. The rainbows created by water vapour are sometimes visible at night when a full moon occurs. These are known as moonbows. Now let's head across the Atlantic to the USA and visit the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is located in the state of Arizona in the United States of America. It is a deep and colourful gorge carved into the landscape by the mighty Colorado River. The Grand Canyon is 277 miles long. The distance from one side to the other varies, but at some points it is 18 miles wide. In places, the canyon is more than a mile deep. The Colorado River began eroding and wearing down the rocks about 6 million years ago. Wind and rain have helped the erosion process, exposing colourful rocks, some of which are up to 4 billion years old. Walk through the Grand Canyon for 10 miles and you'll reach Havasu Falls, a beautiful blue-green waterfall that's 30 metres high. The North Rim has the highest point in the Grand Canyon, with its peak known as Point Imperial, which is 2,700 metres high. After all that hiking, time to cool off, and where better than the Great Barrier Reef? The Great Barrier Reef is in the Coral Sea off the coast of Queensland, Australia. It is a huge living formation with 2,900 reefs and 900 islands. The Great Barrier Reef covers over 133,000 square miles, an area equivalent to over 64 million football pitches. It is not only the world's largest reef, but also the world's largest living structure. Astronauts can even see it from outer space. Corals are living organisms that form coral reefs, delicate ecosystems which are bursting with life. The Great Barrier Reef is home to over 9,000 known species. Of course, there's a huge variety of different fish, but also seahorses, turtles, stingrays and sharks. It has become an area of scientific interest as it's the habitat of several species threatened with extinction, such as the large green turtle. Unfortunately, over the last 30 years, approximately half of the reef's coral coverage has been lost or damaged by bleaching. This is the result of rising sea temperatures due to climate change. The time is now to protect this delicate ecosystem and ensure that it recovers and thrives in the future. Well, we've looked down in the ocean, so how about up in the sky? Our next stop is the Northern Lights. Also known as Aurora Borealis, these are bright moving streams of purple, green, red and yellow light in the night sky. The best chance of seeing them is in countries near the North Pole, such as Iceland. So here's a question. Why do these lights appear? There have been many different ideas about what exactly they are. A folktale from Finland claimed it was the trail left by a mythical animal called a firefox as he ran across the night sky. It wasn't until 1903 that Christian Birkeland, a Norwegian scientist, worked out exactly what caused them. Solar winds are released from the sun's hot outer layer and then travel quickly towards the Earth at speeds of up to 45 million miles per hour. They then mix with nitrogen and oxygen gases in our atmosphere to create colourful waves in the night sky. Nitrogen gases make bright red waves of light, while oxygen produces light green ripples in the sky. The lowest part of the light waves can be as close as 50 miles from the Earth's surface, while the highest parts can be several thousand miles above the Earth. The famous astronomer Galileo Galilei called them Aurora Borealis in 1619. He named them after Aurora, the Roman goddess of the morning, and Boreas, the Greek god of the north wind. I could watch them all night, but it's time to head to our sixth natural wonder of the world, Paricutin Volcano. The Paricutin Volcano is a young volcano in Michoacan, Mexico. It formed as a result of a 9-year eruption from 1943 to 1952 that began in a farmer's field. In February 1943, after several weeks of earthquakes, Paricutin began to erupt, throwing ash and lava out of an open field. In just 10 weeks, the volcano grew to 300 meters high. By the end of the first year, the volcano's cinder cone had risen 450 meters from the base. Paricutin is a cinder cone volcano, which means it's a steep conical hill of volcanic debris. It continued to erupt for 8 years. Debris and fire destroyed and buried 2 villages, leaving just 1 church still standing. During the 9 years of eruptions, its lava managed to cover a 10-mile area. After 1952, the volcano became quiet. It has not erupted since. There's one last stop on our Natural Wonders tour. It's the harbour at Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro is in Brazil in the continent of South America. The harbour of Rio de Janeiro, also known as Guanabara Bay, is a huge natural harbour situated along Brazil's southeastern coast, where the land meets the Atlantic Ocean. The harbour of Rio de Janeiro is the largest bay in the world based on volume of water and is 18 miles wide. The shape of the bay was formed by erosion of the Atlantic Ocean. There are 130 islands here that include Governor's Island, Fundeo and Snakes Island. The bay's unique shape resembles a giant heart and has 2 iconic peaks, Sugarloaf Mountain and Corcovado, where the famous Christ the Redeemer statue stands. Sugarloaf Mountain is one of the world's most famous natural landmarks. This granite mountain is 395 metres high. Sugarloaf Mountain has the 3rd oldest cable car in the world, taking tourists up to the top of the mountain since 1912. And what a great view from the top. What an amazing trip around the world. We've explored all 7 natural wonders of the world. Which one was your favourite? How about exploring more wonders of the world, from the Taj Mahal to the Great Wall of China, with our brand new resource pack? You'll find the link below this video. Thanks for joining us today. We're the Twinkl Home Ed team, together on your home ed journey.